And I worked with startups who come to the Valley trying to bootstrap their companies, and I invest in small of my monies.
Hi, I'm Bryan Colligan with Alphagrowth, and today we're on the Starfish Lab stage here at the Future World Conference. And I'm here with Svet of Frisco.
Yes, it's a little strange name, but people remember that name, and I took it in 2014 when I founded the first international incubator for silicon company, which is 4 letters makes Frisco. So, and I worked with startups who come to the Valley trying to bootstrap their companies, and I invest in small of my monies, and I found it very challenging area. And when in 2015 I knew about the blockchain, it was to my shame, it was the year when I came to this ecosystem, and I met Vitalik, and actually from that time I became so involved and actually so excited about that I'm doing that blockchain things ever since.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we're having an interesting conversation about personal responsibility in a young ecosystem in open source, and so I wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's maybe surprising to many people when kind of investors like me start talking about the responsibility, because investors are supposed to be cynical. But I want to say that you cannot grow anything on the empty fields. So you need first to have people to have teams and to have the environment where you can invest. That's why on the present stage of the blockchain and of the crypto community, if you allow me to call that the name what it is, right? I think important to have right people here. And what I've seen in the past 3 years, there are so many, I would say, approaches which is I would not recommend, to put it mildly. First of all, there are many people who come to the Valley trying to make it very quick. So they try to spend like 3 months, build a team around themselves, and sometimes they have a good idea, sometimes not. And then they're trying to either launch ICO to find an investor and make it like maybe 6-month job and take like probably $10 million. And I wouldn't say disappear after that, but at least kind of moving to other things.
Right.
Although it's of course everybody doing what he or she can in that environment, and I'm not saying that I'm trying to impose on people my ethical standards, but what I'm trying to say that it's not productive even for you. I haven't seen many teams succeeding that.
It's pulling money out of the ecosystem, it's pulling attention, it's giving the whole entire ecosystem a bad ring. So what I thought was really interesting is it talked about the personal responsibility of each individual, and then you had an interesting take on the path that somebody should take when they're going into the blockchain sphere.
Yes, that's a good point, and we talked about that earlier before that. So important for anybody, even for people without programming background, to understand that if you don't really understand code, if you cannot program, say, smart contract, which is basically part of the EVM or Ethereum environment, you really better learn it first and then come here. Of course, I know that many people would object to that, saying, I'm a marketing person, why should I learn this? I better find anybody. But again, it's such a new field that you really don't understand what it is about, how difficult it is to build viable and secure system based on smart contract. And I'm saying it from my own experience because I spent practically the last 6 months just learning coding. And what I'm doing now is basically sitting, you see how I look like a coder. So I'm sitting in one of the places where I got a bunch of friends, crazy friends like me, and we actually coding. So I'm spending no less than 3 to 5 hours a day coding. And of course, I'm not coding for other people. I'm coding for my own project. I can find other people to do that for me, but I'm not doing that.
You don't really need to understand how a car works for you to drive your car.
And I think that's an excellent argument. I wouldn't say that I have like a 100% rebuke to it. So I'm not against people who don't have a background in technology. If they are like a great entrepreneurs, of course, they welcome. But again, if you are a person who are just kind of stepping into that, and you are more or less technically maybe minded, maybe if you never had an opportunity to work with technology, but you're kind of interested in that deep enough, that's a great chance for you to get real knowledge and start doing things by yourself, be productive. And just it's so little, so few chances actually in a current business environment to get such a type of experience that I just encourage you to do that. But on top of that, I got my own kind of ethical addition to this argument, which says that if you're a developer, you're not gonna be polluting that environment. You don't want to pollute the place where you're gonna stay a long time.
We talked about big corporations, personal responsibility, blockchain, how to get started. If somebody wants to reach out to you and understand what you're working on, how should they reach out to you?
Oh, that's pretty easy. You go to Google and you go to the search and put there Sedov, Svetsedov. That's first is my first name, which is a part of my first name. Actually, my first name is Svjatoslav, but it's a little difficult. So it's the first four letters, Svet, Svet, and my second name is Sedov. And then you see all the article I published, all the links to my Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn account. You can shoot me a message on Twitter. I'm always in LinkedIn, and I'm always in Facebook. So it's basically, and of course I'm in Telegram and everywhere. So, but you won't find my Telegram account directly on Google. On Google, it's LinkedIn, Facebook. Perfect. And so please ask me questions if you have anything to do with the blockchain. I'm pretty much be glad to give you advice, and who knows, maybe it will be greatly beneficial for environment.
Absolutely.
I mean, like a blockchain, of course.
That's great.
Yes.
I feel like I'm welcome to the community, and I'm glad you're part of the community.
Yes. Thank you so much for your very, very detailed and smart questions.